Little store. Thank you for coming today. A year has passed since a lot of us were here the last time, and a lot of new friends here too. Thank you guys for coming. We've got champagne. I just want to say cheers to everyone here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your support. I love you guys. And
we love you.
And cheers. Cheers. Thank you for coming. Happy anniversary to all you guys. Now, when I started this company in 2005, January 1st, 2005 was my first tour. All by myself for 2.5 to 3 years. It was only me, and it was hard work. At the end of it, I was ready to be. I had a hard time with it. And Richard and I worked together at Starline Tours, and I ran into Richard at Brian and Christine's house at a party, and I asked him if he would come on board and join me to help to do Dearly Departed Tours. I knew he was good. We trained him. Brian and I trained him. We did. And Richard came along, and he helped me considerably. And I want to give the mic to Richard for a little bit. Sorry. Okay, please, Richard Sebastian. Yeah.
I was really, really honored when Scott asked me to join him. I'd always admired these guys. I met them when we all were working for Starline, and they both trained me. I actually rode with some other tour guides before, and I saw the difference between these other tour guides and Brian and Scott. And so I knew I had the best training ever. And then when Scott asked me to join him, there was no other answer but to say, "Of course I will." And it's been an honor to work with you guys. It really is. It's a dream. It really is. You know, I have an acting career too, but these tours are so much more fun than acting could ever be. Acting is boring. You know, it's just hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. But with these tours, you meet a lot of people, and we have lots of fun on our tours. It doesn't get any better than that. My mom always said to me, "Get a job that you really, really love, because you'll never have to go to work again in your life." And thank you, Scott, for helping me achieve that. I also brought a friend of mine to this company after Scott asked me to join him. I said to him, I have another person that's done a tour with me before. Her name is Allison Armbrum. She played Nellie Olson in Little House on the Prairie. And Allison and I created this tour before I had met Scott. Not met Scott, but doing his tours. And so I said to Scott, "Do you mind if Allison and I do our tour for your company?" And he was, "Yes, of course. Bring it to our company. Let's do this." So Allison and I now do a tour called the Nasty Nellie Olson Tour of Hollywood. And so it's a lot of fun. There's nothing better than working with your friends. So Allison and I have 2 tours coming up. She has one on April 27th and one on May 24th. She's out of town right now. She's in France doing her own show. It's called Confessions of a Prairie Bitch. Same title as her book. So, but she'll be back here in April, and we'll do our tour in April and another one in May. And then she's back out of the country again for a while, and we'll set up another tour. But so thank you, Scott and Brian, for allowing me to have my little fun with this company. And thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. So when I was working at Starline Tours and I met Richard, I also met Brian Donnelly. And Brian and I hit it off right away. Maybe Brian's probably going to talk for a bit, so I'm not going to steal anything he's going to say. But I want to say Brian was the best Starline had, and I stole him from Starline. It took me years to get him, but he finally said goodbye to Starline Tours and came to Dearly Departed Tours a couple of years ago, and for which I'm truly grateful. So Brian Donnelly, please welcome.
Hi. Tomorrow will be 1 year ago that I stood up front here, and before we had the ribbon cutting, and I said, the clubhouse is open. I meant it then, and it's still open. It is the clubhouse. It's cool because being in here, I mean, to watch Scott and to know that for somebody to see somebody who's my friend and to watch something that he wanted and to get it, and then watch it grow into, those of you who were here last year, you remember, there was items here. Now it's the gallery. But to watch somebody, to watch him go through that and to go and have this kind of thing, but to work here, to be here, to sit here and have people come in, whether they're doing a tour or not, they'll just pop in and it's the clubhouse. They'll sit and they're just like, so, let's talk about, whether it's death, it's not death. It can be just a celebrity. It can be something in the past. Do you know where? And we'll just spend some time talking before the tour, after the tour. it's given me the chance to do what the only real talent that I think God gave me, which is just remember crap and tell people about it. I mean, that's the only way I can really say it. But and to the other cool part is to watch people who are fans and watch them come in. And to see the things that they've been reading about, they've been online, and to see anything over here, or just something in here, the Brian Jones piece, or things like that, and that kind of thing. It really is. It's really a bit of magic to me, and I love it. And I thank. There's two things in the world right now that I thank God for every single day. One is Beverly, and the other one is the fact that Scott allows me to do what I do and to have the fun that I have, because I love. As I tell people on my tour, I believe I was destined to be a history and geography teacher, and I'm a holidist and geography teacher, and I live up the street. I live inside my own classroom, for God's sake. And it's the most magical thing ever. And these two, just to have them in my life, thank you more than, you saved me in a lot of ways. You got me from the dark side of Starline, but you let me, and I know I piss them off. I know that I talk too much, and but he still allows me to be me, and I love you for that. And welcome to the clubhouse for those of you who haven't been here before. Thanks very much.
Great. So, all right, a year has passed. I turned 50 and I got married, and these are pretty much. And truly, honestly, truly, none of this would happen without my Troy. Honest to God, it just wouldn't. No. He gives me the courage. He has nothing but support for me, and no, I'm.
For your money.
So now the 50 comes in. So, okay, I just want to say a couple of acknowledgments. I want to say thank you to Jane Osborne for everything that you do for me, for everything that she does for the shop, and her wonderful things that she's got set up at the shop. Mark Masick, of course, for your support too. But we've got Mark and I have a project that we're going to work on together, a guidebook of Hollywood that we're working on right now. We're very excited about that. And I still got to thank Brandon again for helping me set up this office last year. I can't thank you enough for that, and Beverly for your continued support, and Kathleen as well. I mean, everyone, it's a serious effort for everyone. Everyone puts in, and I'm grateful for it. And I may not show it right away because I'm a bit of a dick, but I am so grateful for it. Okay, now over the last year, we've added a few things to the shop since we opened up, and one of the things, I don't know if you guys have made it upstairs yet, but above the window upstairs is a portrait of Diane Linkletter. Now there was a 1969 movie starring Divine called The Diane Linkletter Story, and she was the daughter of Art Linkletter that jumped out of a window right off the at Shoreham Towers off Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood on the Strip. And the portrait upstairs above the window was hung in the Linkletter living room, and it was acquired by Kathleen and gifted to Dearly Departed Tours from Kathleen Campbell. And she gifted it to Scott Michaels, and now we have the Diane Linkletter Memorial window upstairs. So now the thing I'm most excited about and that I acquired this year was, now you see this photograph. You've probably seen this photograph of Rock Hudson. And this was taken about, the time of the Macmillan and wife period in his life. Well, the last big show business era for Rock Hudson, when he passed away of AIDS or complications from AIDS. And now we have in our shop, Brian, if you wouldn't mind, because I can see you back there.
This is the actual piece of Rock's bed.
No.
So this is a permanent part of the Dearly Departed exhibition now, the gallery here, is you'll be able to pose with Rock Hudson's deathbed. We don't have the mattress. Now we said no to the mattress because that would be tacky. But we do. And, in the past year, we had the Dearly Departed dinner, which some of you guys were attended, and hopefully you will next year as well. We're having the first weekend in October. I'm just putting together the venues. And John Gilmore, and if you noticed, the author John Gilmore was here earlier, and he agreed to speak on Saturday night. He'll be our lead speaker on Saturday night. So very, very exciting. And last year when we had the dinner, we had it at the main dinner was at the Mountain View Mausoleum in Altadena, and we had a get-together on Friday night at the Union Theater downtown. We raised money from that to mark a grave, and the grave of Johnny Arthur. Johnny Arthur was this over-the-top, really effeminate gay man. I don't even know if he was gay in real life, but he played these over-the-top characters in movies, and he sort of paved the way for gay people in movies, I think. He be it good or bad, he was people's first exposure to gay people. And Mark, actually, you brought it to my attention as well that Johnny Arthur was unmarked. So we raised the money last year to have Johnny Arthur's grave marked, and you can see it in the frame on the right, just by the front door, Johnny Arthur's marker. Below that is Susan Cabot's marker, which we also marked this year through Death Hags, people that are friends of Dearly Departed Tours. Susan Cabot, this is also an exhibition, a little exhibit here in the tour. This little weird thing that is, Susan Cabot was in a movie called The Wasp Woman, and Susan Cabot was murdered by her dwarf son with a barbell who said ninjas did it. And so this is her little, and then he hid the barbell or the dumbbell in a bottle of detergent, in a box of detergent. So this is my little Susan Cabot exhibit. Anyway, and we also made what? LA Weekly. What did we call? What did LA Weekly? It was the best like best death tour that operates on Sundays or something. It was so obscure, but we won it, damn it. And we also got acknowledgement last Halloween from the people at Fox, because American Horror Story, they used our tour as the Eternal Darkness tour on American Horror Story, the first season. So they didn't rip us off. They borrowed heavily from us, and actually for the DVD launch, they acknowledged it, and they had us along at the Hollywood Cemetery for the launch, and it was kind of cool to get acknowledgement from Fox finally. Now in the shop, we've added a lot of new things here. Behind me is a Rocky Horror Picture Show exhibit. When I co-wrote the book about Rocky Horror, I acquired a lot of things, a lot of one-of-a-kind things that happened from the production of the movie. Peter Hinwood's actual shooting script, who played Rocky Horror, and a couple of the models that the actual sets are built from. So that's here as a permanent exhibit now. And also, the Karen Carpenter tour that we did. We did so many cool things. Karen Carpenter died 30 years this year. We had a Karen Carpenter tour on the anniversary. And I'm so pleased with that. But Divine, who was one of my idols, a 350-pound man that played women in movies. He is the first person to ever portray Jacqueline Kennedy in film. He's the only person, as far as I know, to ever actually eat dog droppings in a movie. A huge John Waters star. Divine died in 1988, 25 years ago, at the Regency Hotel, which is destroyed. That is the door from the room that Divine died in, just that you see just below that curtain there. And I was a huge Divine fan. Divine was a recording star, and I saw her in concert a few times. I never met Divine, but she did grab me out of the audience a couple of times. I got to dance with her on stage, and she threw one of her sweat towels at me, which was a huge deal for me. So I offer for Divine, Brian, if you wouldn't mind, that is the new Divine Shrine at Dearly Departed Tours. Please do, please do. My friend, there's a sweat towel. There's the fuse box from her hotel room. And I actually met somebody that was at that concert in Detroit that she threw the towel at me, and there was those tickets. He let me print up the tickets to use. I was a huge Divine fan. Now, weirdly, my next-door neighbor, Lisa Hyde, a couple of weeks ago, she said, I've got these display cases. I used to run an antique shop. Please, if you want to use these, come up and get them, and you can have them. And I went up there, and that one was there, and it had pink flamingos on it. Seriously? Seriously? So, I mean, okay, there it is. So there's the Divine Shrine. Now, one other thing. Before last year, we had a little fundraising campaign on the internet. It was Indiegogo, I think. Where was it? Indiegogo. Yeah. Indiegogo. And I like Indiegogo better. But we raised money. A lot of you were really generous contributors to what we did, and you liked the documentaries that we put out. And Mike Dorsey, who came on my tour probably 7 years ago, or I was in my first year of operation with your mom, God bless her, and Mike said, you would make a good documentary, and we put together first documentary, Dearly Departed Volume 1, and The 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter, and soon to be released, Dearly Departed Volume 2. And I want to show, we just finished this yesterday, and I want to show you, if you would be so kind to indulge me, I'm going to show you this most recent episode of Dearly Departed TV. It's about one of the most famous icons in Hollywood history. This man was a loner, and the first hint is he was a rebel.
Oh, you.
And behind me is hint number 2. This is the Griffith Park Observatory, and today's episode is about James Dean. The reason we're here is because of the finale of the movie with Natalie Wood, Sal Mineo, and James Dean was filmed on the steps of the observatory right there. This is a statue of James Dean that was it was sculpted by a man named Kenneth Kendall, who met James.